In order to explore what we meant by community vitality, we used a grounded theory methodology, where our theory was derived from the data gathered in our research leading to the development of proxy indicators and an online tool. Our vision behind this tool was simply to try to get people to think about what makes our community thrive and not simply survive. So we started by developing 12 discussion papers, and to explain what we meant by the 6 indicators, we used the technique called Pachachka. This is a method in reaction to excess verbiage, which uses a tool of 20 slides, one slide every 20 seconds, to explain what you mean using only visual images. To begin, we prepared 12 discussion papers as background research. On methods, the concept which is this presentation, resilience, health, biodiversity, social capital, the built environment, green spaces, accessibility, children and the elderly. Our first question was, what does community vitality mean? Definitions for vitality. Is it more than jargon? Feeling really alive, possessing enthusiasm and spirit, autonomy and self-actualization, agency, feeling capable of affecting action, chi, the source of life, creativity, harmony, energy and power, physical, mental, and spiritual health, strength of communities thriving, happiness, well-being, life satisfaction, feeling autonomous and being resilient, community capital. Key concepts: competent communities, identifying the problems and needs of the community, achieving a working consensus on goals and priorities, developing a collective capacity to solve problems, community openness and trust, connection with people and place, ecological carrying capacity, stable funding and leadership. Change stimulates social innovation and creativity leading to community action. Strong, active, meaningful, and inclusive relationships between residents, private sector, public sector, and civil society organizations, working to foster vibrant communities. Social innovation. From psychology, vitality is not the everyday, but rather an episodic specialness, a peak experience available to everyone, yet not necessarily experienced by everyone. From ecology, vitality is interdependent with the overall health of its natural environment. From ethno-linguistics, vitality includes an aspect of autonomy or self-actualization, allowing the expression of one's nature. From other cultures, vitality has all of the dimensions of the life form which expresses it. In humans, its manifestation includes physical, emotional, social, intellectual, and aesthetics. Built environment. What are the drags on reconciling the built with the non-built environment? Things such as time lags and resistance to change. We humans, in some ways, are very conservative with heavy technological lock-in. Once we commit to a particular technology, it is so hard to change this path dependency. And then, of course, if individuals are so loath to change, just imagine the institutional drag. All of these factors are contributing to our inability to address climate change and to respond to the possibility of peak oil. Key concepts. Public space. Fundamental element of democracy, that of the public sphere. Democracy, tactile space. Speed, time, smell. Edges, irregularity, accessibility, poverty, gender, power, distance, conflict, class, and race. Diversity, dead space. Two examples of the proxy indicators that we have identified from our grounded theory analysis are dead space and green space, using the Pachachka technique, ideally to stimulate dialogue around the meaning of vitality. We also looked at other factors such as health, other models, children, the elderly, and social capital.
And of course, integration and reconciliation of the three imperatives. Ecological, social, and economic are critical to community vitality.
Healthy and vibrant communities are adaptable, flexible, and resilient, proactive and reactive by planning for the long term while still remaining ready for uncertain or unanticipated challenges. Strong relationship between health and planning. Need integrated policy development. Creativity, partnerships, and transdisciplinary relationships are necessary for sustainable development. Identity with and participation in community are key social factors that are interconnected. The built environment has had a negative impact on air, water, and land if there are no reasonably convenient transportation alternatives in a sprawling settlement pattern. Social resilience can be measured using indicators such as the variability of incomes, stability of livelihoods, wealth distribution, demographic change, and affordability. Clustering housing protects sensitive ecosystem functions and creates a sense of community. Children and vitality. It's getting harder and harder to be a kid. Key aspects that affect the well-being of children. Freedom to explore, agency and autonomy, invisibility, creativity, physical, mental, and spiritual health, security, access to the natural environment, social engagement, family structure, poverty. Elderly. A rapidly increasing population demographic. Key aspects that affect the well-being of the elderly. Sense of community, social capital, diverse network formation, autonomy and dependence, isolation and invisibility, income, access to public green space, physical mobility and physical barriers, health, fear of crime, access to physical services and public services. Social capital. Values, norms, social trust, and networks that facilitate coordination and cooperation. Resources linked to a strong network. Bonding, bridging, and vertical ties. Connections built up over time and are transferred over generations. Civic participation, volunteering, supporting arts and culture. Optimism, hope for the future, social trust. Not organic, where large inequities between the rich and poor exist. Democracies can promote trust when people believe that they can work together to create fundamental change. Connectivity. Strong correlation between individual level of education and their economic status to levels of social capital. Link between employment and civic participation. Decline in overall civic engagement worldwide has occurred disproportionately between the rich and poor. Social capital may be a dependent variable for greater equity. Erosion of social capital due to loss of connectivity. Relationship between social and physical infrastructure. Lack of or inaccessible public transit. Declining natural environments. Lack of space for reflection. In conclusion, from this background research, we have identified 6 key proxy indicators for community vitality: connectivity, dead space, diversity, accessibility, community capitals, and spatial capital. Again, as educators, we tried to get people to think and reflect on the meaning of vitality for their community in the development of this tool. We will be publishing the Community Vitality Tool this coming December at www.crcresearch.org.
and we welcome your comments.